What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Sterling back at you with another video. If you could please like, comment, and subscribe. So today's topic is going to be on setting boundaries in a relationship, which we all know setting boundaries is very important, especially in the beginning of a relationship. So, hypothetically speaking, let's just say you meet somebody, you got interest in them, they have interest in you, right? So y'all date, hang out, kick it. Y'all getting feelings for each other. So next thing you know, you're in a relationship, right? All right. So all of that time y'all been hanging out, you know, really boundaries haven't been discussed. Okay. So you're in a solidified relationship now, solid, right? But you see your mate or boyfriend or girlfriend doing things that you don't really like, you don't particularly care for. All right. So things like that will definitely happen throughout your relationship unless you set boundaries off the jump. All right. Setting boundaries, like some people say no male friends, no female friends. All right. Some people say uh social media. I don't know. People all have their own preferences or whatever, but I was just trying to give y'all some examples of, what somewhat boundaries are. But like real deal boundaries are like, respecting each other, having a level of respect for each other, having loyalty for one another, for having understanding for one another, for having patience for one another. Those are boundaries, very important boundaries that need to be set off the jump. And if one individual or the other doesn't want to incorporate those in your relationship, then you're definitely dealing with the wrong person because those type of things are definitely a key playing factor in a healthy relationship. You know, um, you can go and get knee deep into a relationship without setting boundaries. I've done it. And as time goes on, you're seeing all these different things that you do not like. I did not like. All right. I couldn't stand it. Like respect. That was one thing that was really missing in one of these relationships I had back in the past. It was non-existent. The respect that she had for me. And I'm a respectable person, so I came in showing respect. I guess she took that as a sign of weakness or whatever. I don't know what was going through her head, but after so long, I lost respect for her. And then things got, ugly. It just, verbal, just people saying things they really didn't have no business. Uh, but that was side effect and not setting boundaries. You understand? Um, they're just like your personal space, personal time that you need to set aside for yourself. Some people don't want to give you that in a relationship. They feel like you need to be up under them 24/7. You need to check in. They need to know your every movement. Then, that becomes stressful on an individual in a relationship. And that might make you want to leave if you follow me. You'll get tired of that. It wears you down. I've been through that as well. So these are boundaries these examples I'm giving you are boundaries I didn't set. All right. You might have financial boundaries where you want your own money. Maybe y'all decide you put 50, whatever percentage you choose to pool together. But some people don't want you to have your own money. They want everything together. I don't think that's wise, unless you're married or whatever. But if we're not talking about marriage, if just in a normal conventional relationship, that's not wise at all. But um, boundaries. if you set boundaries in the beginning of your relationship, it's going to, how can I say this? It's going to filter out a lot of unforeseen problems that you could possibly have in going into a relationship. All right. I mean, you get in a relationship with somebody, and next thing you know, like I said in the beginning, you're going to start seeing things, and they're going to do things, or you might do things that they don't like. Who knows? There's never been a discussion on it, right? So you're in this relationship, let's say 9 months down the road, which it shouldn't take that long to see things that you aren't going to like right off the bat. But just say you're 9 months down the road, and this person, I don't know what examples to throw out. Like, this person's drinking a lot or something like that, or they're gaming too much or whatever, the case may be, right? There's like boundaries. Nobody set a time on how much time is going to be spent. And it's not like a military regiment, but you know what I'm saying, within reason, boundaries have to be set. Like somebody gaming, maybe they might spend the majority of time on the game or watching their favorite series, TV series or something, and you're getting neglected or they're getting neglected. That's where you have to set boundaries, because without setting boundaries, things can spiral out of control really fast, really fast. And so, and another thing is, later on down the road, that person or you might even find yourself saying, well, we never discussed this. We never talked about this. See what I'm saying? Now you're building up resentments. You might be thinking about leaving, or they might be thinking about leaving. Who knows? But setting boundaries in a relationship is extremely important. Okay. I know in my younger years, up until not so younger years, there were uh, situations, I'll say, that I got in and I didn't set boundaries. They didn't set boundaries, and it was a shit show. And that's just the reality of it. Some people don't like confrontation. Some people don't like having uncomfortable conversations, but these things need to be had. You do the hard work in the beginning to avoid it on the end, because it's easier in the beginning than it is in the end. You understand? So I just wanted to make a quick little video about setting boundaries, and hopefully y'all got something out of it. Like I said, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm your boy Sterling. Till next time, peace.